Hey everyone, welcome. If you're not familiar, I'm on an entrepreneurial journey, and I wouldn't quite say that I'm working on startups, but I am working, at least for now, on apps or software as a service that'll essentially make me passive income. Not necessarily passive, but they're gonna be passive in once I develop them. My first goal is 5,000, either 3,000, 5,000 in a month in passive income, and it's likely going to be apps. I've sort of adjusted everything at the moment, but um, for this channel, I focus on more than just startups because for me, everything in life is sort of interconnected. And the approach I really take to anything I do is the areas of wellness. And if you're not familiar, areas of wellness is just uh, the different areas that you can, I guess, take actions in your life. Anything you do either falls into one of these areas. So, whether that be you want to do something like hobbies, which is more of like for your emotions or to make you feel better. It can also be like they're not also standalone. For example, something that you do, a hobby, might be because makes you feel better, but then it's also you like the curiosity or uh, whatever it is. Um, Running, for example, is for your physical wellness. Occupational is focused more on like your occupation, your jobs. Intellectual is just like curiosity. Are you learning, and so on. And I have projects in the majority of these areas. And so my focus today is to try to get back on track. And one thing that I had to do when I started this journey is try to how do you whittle down to just the most important ones that I feel that I really need. And let's see. Okay, let me pause it. As I was saying that, I realized, okay, the ones I had are not the most important ones. So let's get into this. I want to try to, I guess, get these projects, these areas of my life back on task now that I have more time. Once I set it up, it should just be things that I'd like reflect on at the end of the week and might have to make adjustments to. And we can just run through them really quickly. So for occupation, this is the area that I want to focus on the most over the next few years. And that starts with March to Startup. March to Startup is essentially I want to work on a startup, an idea that over the long term, the next 10, 20 years is going to make me hundreds of millions, if not billions. But before I even get to that point, I have student loans that I need to pay monthly. I have other, just the cost of life. I need to be able to afford that, to be able to even just focus on a startup and be have those like 1 to 2 years that maybe it's not bringing in any money. We're not getting into accelerators. We don't have any fundings. I don't have connections because my background, I don't have daddy money, daddy connections, none of that. I just have a master's degree, worked for that, didn't get any help. And so now I have loans too. So, anyways, um, I need to be able to support my startup journey. So right now we're focusing on passive income, being able to support the startup journey. And maybe something I build now, I can even scale up and it becomes a startup. But anyways, that's what March to Startup is. Innovator's Blueprint is recognizing that starting up, you essentially can break. Let me take these off. I'm not even listening to music. You can essentially break down the process of starting up into various different phases. And the first phase, where you're sort of developing the idea, which is like comes before anything else. When you're developing the idea, that can also be broken down into its own, I guess, its own phases. And that starts off with how do you take an idea, verify that it's a good idea. So that's customer discovery, market research, competitive analysis, all of that. And then create like a mock-up. at that point, you're ready to start actually developing it. Because you're going to have lots of ideas. You're going to have to fine tune it until you come into like the right, I guess, the right form to then actually develop it. And that's what I'm focused on right now. And that looks like learning UX UI design, learning Figma. Yeah. So those are the two focuses I have right now in occupational. Next, physical. Physical here. I'm on a similar march to optimal health. My background is I had high blood pressure, I think, for at least about 1 to 2 years, clinically verified, but more likely like 6 to 7 years. So I've had high blood pressure for quite a while, and now I care enough about it that I want to try to just optimize all aspects of my health. So sleeping 8 hours a day, same time, waking up at the same time, having a routine, eating the perfect nutrition every day, so meal prepping that. So we have nutrition, sleeping, exercise, and exercise. And exercise is the only one that's more long term. Eating, you just meal prep once a week, and I mean, it takes effort to come up with the right meal. But once you have that, you just meal prep it. For sleep, it's just a habit you need to develop. And the other one that would be more of a project is stress. But for that, which we'll get to, I have its own sort of section to try to deal with stress. So there's exercise and stress. Those are the two aspects of health that are pillars of health. It's not, for example, like jumping into an ice bath or going to a sauna or like doing very specific actions. These are pillars of health that are proven time and time again to improve health, overall health. And so the specific one that I'm working on right now is half marathon training. I really want to run a marathon, but before that, let's do a half marathon. And half marathon, I want to make it a little bit competitive, so be able to run at a 7:30 pace, improve my VO2 max. Ideally, I want to get a VO2 max of around 60, but if I don't get it in this project, I'd probably get it in marathon training, and just try to meet the other sort of basic exercise suggestions. And then for emotional, this is trying to get at resolving any like childhood traumas, any stresses, any now that I'm having marriage issues, that's also going to be part of it. So I feel like there's just lots of things that I need to address, and I'm also thinking about, I guess, trying to be more Christian like, and follow God more closely. And so that's something I want to get into. I don't know that I don't know, we'll see. I don't know if I'll talk about like religious stuff on this YouTube channel. But yeah, that's something I want to look into. And the last one is just in general. All of these projects, they all require... wait. Okay, we're good. So, all of these projects, they require a system to be able to track everything, because there's just so many moving pieces, day to day, week to week. And for me, that's been my computer, and using specifically this note-taking app called Obsidian. And so I need to sort of refine how I use it, make sure that it's not just becoming too messy, there's files all over the place. So trying to follow a set system on how I interact with my projects, how I track my progress, and then anything else that I'm using. For example, my phones, I don't want any like loose tasks or any loose, I don't know if you're familiar with like getting things done, but just like hooks, things that are not in their settled place and you just sort of collect it in inboxes. And so for example, an inbox that people typically might have is on your phone. When you want to come back to something, maybe you screenshot something or you take a photo, Maybe you have a bunch of Safari tabs that you want to come back to. That's what I do. So just being able to, with all these systems you have in your life, being able to just maintain them and make sure that you don't become overwhelmed. I've seen people with inboxes that have thousands of emails. Right now, in my inbox, I probably have like 5 emails. And those are just things that I'm going to finish this week or in next week. So I like to keep things sort of organized and down to just the essentials. So let's get started. I want to get back on track with everything. And my goal now is to review all the projects. And I figured this might be a helpful exercise for those that are trying to set up a project, and then also those that want to review the projects that they already have. How do you go about ensuring that you're on top of your project? And yeah, so let's see. For half marathon training, we'll get started with half marathon training. For this one, when I originally set it up, I think I was more focused on, I set it up through the website. So I wrote down all my notes here and didn't even transfer it here. But one sentence summary, again, you can read that if you want. That's fine. This, I've started, project, physical. I need to update this. How long would this take? Realistically, I don't think there's any marathons around me until next year. Half marathons. So I think it's going to have to be an unofficial half marathon. And I think like 3 months is fine. So May, June to July to August. Let's say like August 31st. That's when I want to be done with everything. And I didn't update the timeline with my newest thing, so I was just updating this. I had issues with runner's toes, which if you're not familiar, it's when you take a step, especially when you're putting weight around like the ball of your feet, and you can feel like some pressure, uncomfortable pressure on your toes. So that's what I was feeling. That stopped me for a few weeks as well during all the moving. So yeah. And then now, I think it was like last week or the week before, was able to start running more consistently. Now I'm just trying to get some miles under my feet, make sure that I don't have any more shin issues, any toe issues. And if I do, like take a 1 or 2 day break, do some PT exercises, and once I get my miles up enough consistently, going to the half marathon training schedule, because I wouldn't say the miles were a lot for my half marathon training schedule. I think it was just the what do you call it, the effort, or I don't know the word. I feel like I'm gonna need dementia when I get older. The stress, maybe? Like when you put a lot of repetitions, but the repetitions are a little bit more difficult. That's what I'm trying to say. And my action plan, that I wrote down here, I'll use. So I'm just going to follow the same one when I get back into it, but for now, let's see. So this is this is post. Let's get more comfortable. So this is our training plan. And then this would be build up. So here's a little bit just simpler. Running 6 miles a day run, let's say 5 days a week. Exercises. Clean toes on Saturday. I think that's really all I need. So far, I've ran, I think, the last 2 weeks, at least 4 days a week, 4 to 6 miles a day. My shins started to feel a little bit tender like the last 2 days. So I don't know if my shins will continue to act up or like, I don't know what's gonna happen with my shins. So hopefully it works out. And cleaning my toes should address runner's toes. Any other issues? I do need to wake up earlier. Get down. Okay, so until I can start waking up wake up at 5:30 a.m. Yeah. So let's do until I can. Okay. I'll wait until I that's a weird way of phrasing it. Until I can wake up, I will Okay, that makes more sense. So the reason that I need to wake up at 5:30 a.m. is because right now I've just been running on the sidewalks, and there's some streets here that I guess don't have any crosswalks where you need to like stop for the light. Or I do need to stop for the light like a couple times, once or twice, but I can get a good 4 to like 6 miles in at some points and not have to stop for lights. But the reason that stopping for the light, I guess, is an issue is when I'm doing sprints or when I'm doing some of these, like, yeah, what is it? 10 minutes at 6 miles. Yeah, when I'm doing sprints or just very fast, when I have to follow a fast pace, there's cars that I need to look out for. Sometimes when they need to pull in, if I'm going too fast, I'm not gonna be able to focus on that. So it's very likely I'm gonna get close to being hit. I've almost had like one instance happen with the truck so far. So I need to wake up early to be able to use the nearby school's track because they are in session. Actually, during the summer they won't be in session. Well, they might have summer school. Regardless, I want to wake up early, get my runs, and because later in life, even I want this to be like a long-term habit. Even later in life, if I want to exercise in the morning, it needs to be like before work hours. Eventually, when I start my business, start a company, I want to be there on time in the morning. Unless it's remote, but regardless. So until I can wake up early, this is just going to be my plan. And once I do start exercising, this is going to be that. And I want to follow this plan. Last time that I followed this plan, I think I only followed it for about a month. When did I start it? Oh, February. I say I started on 23rd. Okay. Yeah, I think about a month was the most I followed it. But it got me to VO2 max of 57, and I think my pace was getting to around, I mean, it's at 8 minutes now. So I really don't know. Let's see. Action plan, no. This would be like a brainstorm note. I'll just write delete. How long to train? Because ideally I could train okay. Actually, I just made this clear. Primary goal, again, is to run at 7:34. Was it 13 miles? 20, 24, 26. For around 13 miles. So when I can do that, when I'm training, that's when I'm ready to move on. And how long do I think? How long will that take? Last time I was training, I trained for about 3 weeks, let's say. It might have been 2. No, I think 2 is not that much. I trained for about 3 weeks, consistently. I reached a base pace of less than 8:20, because that's what I'm running now. And I've only been running for 2 weeks, just 6 miles. My watch even shows that like my productivity, or my VO2 max, has been decreasing until 2 weeks, when it's barely started to increase, and it still hasn't quite undone the past 2 months. And so I think my base pace must have been like, no, I should know this. Actually, let me check. I should know this. So I can just check. I started February 23rd. So let me just check like my longest miles. March 12th. I set a record that day. It says my average pace was 8 minutes and 50 seconds, which isn't that good. Oh, it might have been progression or speed repeats. Easy run. What does my pace look like on the easy days? 8:40. So I'm actually have improved since then. 8:44. Is that real? Yeah, this is when I started to get... Oh, maybe I had shin splints, and that's... Okay, let's check this. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Maybe I have to check closer to the 23rd. This goal pace. Long, easy when I ran 12 miles. What was my pace there? 8:47. Oh. Mm, yeah. Even, it seems like even before when I was training, my pace would be at a base pace of about 8:45. I think it was about 8:45. Now I am at a base pace of 8:20. Just from 2 weeks of running. Odd. That's actually pretty good. Let's see. So for me to just get down to 7:30, I don't know if I'm gonna stagnate. Let's not speculate. What happens happens. So maybe I feel like it's okay. So let's think about this realistically though. It's been 2 months since I was training, and I'm already at 8:20, and I haven't done anything special. Just running 4 to 6 miles. Assuming the same thing happens in another 2 months, I could be at 8. This is assuming linear improvement. And then I would be at 7:40 in 4 months. So I think 3 months of just training, exercise. Yeah, I think 3 months is realistic. 3 months is a realistic goal. It might be 4 months, depending on how long I'm in this build-up phase, how long it takes me to go to sleep at 9:30. So that's something I'm working on. So that's good. I don't think I have any other mental questions here. There's no other notes. There's nothing here. So I think half marathon's okay. Like the state of it's okay. I know what to do. This is my goal. Okay. Yeah. So now this one's checked off. I think one thing that I will jot down now is run 5 days a week. Maybe be clear on the 5 days a week, because so far I think for the past 2 weeks I've been running like every other day. So let's follow this schedule actually. Mondays, Tuesdays. I can do Wednesdays next week. Yeah, so let's do that. Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursday, and Saturday. Run 5 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 6 miles a day is clear to me. Physical therapy exercises, I need to add this to calendar. Or add to schedule. Clean toes. To weekend tasks. Wake up. And this I need to add to soft schedule. Cool. Okay. yeah, so I think this has reached a state where I feel like I know what's going on. I know the plan. Now we're ready to move on to the next. This one, I think I'm going to do offline actually. So I'll push that off. Yeah, this one's a little bit more personal. At the moment, if I do end up sharing anything, it'll be things that I guess that I've thought about already on what I feel okay sharing. And yeah. Okay. All right. So let's move on to March to startup. Right. Yeah, March to startup. I think I originally had an inventor's blueprint, but it makes sense more sense to go over March to startup first. So let's get started just from an overview, seeing if everything is still good or not. March startup, iterative exploration, execution, identifying and nurturing across various industries with the goal of building diverse legacy. Yep, still the goal. Deep-seated power and innovation. Yeah. Financial, contribute to human progress, solving critical needs, deep work that's fulfilling and impactful. Personal journey. Yep, still the goal. Okay. And then I think this year is 2024. So this should be 2025, 2026. Within, let me just add the years. So 2024 plus 3 is 2027. Oh, duh. 7, 2. Within 8 years. 32, damn. 27. Yeah. That remains true. Come back to I want to work on problems, solve human needs, and improve the human condition. Yeah, that's true. Principles stay the same. Outcome envisioning. Still true. Now let's look at timeline. This is where I think things are going to change. So originally started working on Obsidian, developing the system, and trying to figure out stuff there. Now, how do I feel about all this? Making a video, making a post covering it. I'll leave it. I don't know how I feel about it right now. Leave PhD program. Yeah, maybe in the future. But for now, the core of it is done. Computer productivity. Yeah, so this I kind of need to like tie off. And it's, yeah. But for now, it's whatever. I don't care enough about it to focus on it right now. And this is sort of, yeah, figured itself out just through time. And here, dependencies. So this is done on build my website, actually. Develop my website. It's good enough for now. Make a YouTube. This I will probably come back to once I get the ball rolling. But for now, it's fine as well. So now let's focus on the main thing, the actual path that I'm following. For my path, okay. Gotcha. So I do need to finish Git. Okay, so previously I finished like the first 90 pages of Git. I still need to finish like 10 more pages to finish chapter 1 or up to page 104. I still need to finish like 10 pages. So that's the book. I don't think I need to cover this since I already covered the book, the core of it. This might be helpful just to re-emphasize some of the more advanced points of the book. And then my goal was to get the LinkedIn assessment certification. So that I guess I need to finish. That is a goal for this week. And learn Algorand. I'll put this off. Well, let's see. So first it was learn Git, which I'm basically done with. Algorand, I feel like I won't get to in the near future. So this I'm going to put off until like after marketing and sales. And originally, after Git, I wanted to learn web development. The reason being, I think mostly was from seeing how Peter Levels and Mark Liu have made their money. Let me actually check up. So looking at what they are working on, this is Levels. Okay, so I guess these are the ones that has worked on. Levels.io is his, I guess, merch. His merch is making him a decent amount of money. Therapist AI. This is actually seems interesting. Applicant and AI. He's just spinning off. Let AI screen your thousands of applicants so you can find the right one in seconds. Photo AI. I think this one's for resumes. Or to, I guess in general, just beautify. Images. Interiors for houses. Remote. Okay, what's this one? Oh, job post. This is for traveling. And then his book is also making him for. How much is that? Let's see. $16 plus 4 plus 1 plus plus 40 plus 41 plus 40 plus... Damn, 200K a month. Times 12, 2.4 million a year. Anyways, let's... Okay, so I got sidetracked. But the main reason to check all this was to see what kind of websites is he putting up that make him money. We can see a lot of them are AI. His biggest earners, I guess, are these two, which are both AI. This is job board. This is traveling. Merch. And I don't know if... Damn. Oh, here we go. So, all your startups on the page. His biggest earners ship fast. Other than that, it's... Yeah, there's nothing else. Yeah, it almost seems like websites is unless there's like something very specific that you have in mind, or it's only made for specific ideas. And right now, all my ideas that I've had are more so tailored towards applications. And I don't know as much about web development as I do about developing applications. So I think just to close the loop, the learning loop, just do app development. So I'll do, for example, let's do tight loop. Learn to use Git. Oh, I skipped this completely. I completely skipped this. My mind is just somewhere else. And okay, let's start from the top again. Oh man, there's a lot. Well, I mean, this is a work along. Okay, we can just make this lengthy. So, path starts with innovation. Prototyping and design. Figma customer discovery. Actually, let's just make this clear, etc. This starts with, and this is actually not going to be 2 to 3 weeks. This is going to be, we'll leave it blank for now. This is going to be take Figma Essentials course, Udemy's Figma Advanced course. This is going to be more of a question mark. Research, UI, UX, designers, path on YouTube, and important concepts. And after that, okay, so let's actually, that one's unsure. Take Google's UX, UI, UX. This one, this one would take 2 to 3 months, which is very extensive. And then I'm missing a bunch of other stuff. Customer discovery. There's other UI, UX concepts I think that I'm overlooking. Competitive. So maybe clarify. Yeah, so this one's clear to me. This is clear to me. These two are unknown at the moment. I want to finish these before I decide on these. And then part of this is going to be because this is going to be working on projects. It's not just theoretical. This is also going to, I'm finding the path and then working on it. So create portfolio to develop skills as suggested. So I've seen some videos and so far they're just saying like create a portfolio. Typically portfolio starts with you copy an existing project, a website app, and either just copy it or make a feature that isn't on there that you would want. And once I do that, I think maybe a couple of times, then make my own actual application that I'd want to make. And this isn't necessarily because I want to be a UX UI designer, but more so because I'm going to be an independent developer, builder for a while until I make enough money until I can hire people. And when I hire people, I want to be able to, I guess, manage them well and know, have been in their shoes a little bit. So that is the main road. Backup road is none of this works out. At least I have UX, UI design skills and a portfolio that this is one path I could possibly pursue if I wanted to. I probably wouldn't, but it's a backup. And then this, I don't know how many weeks. It's been 2 so far. This is going to be in the future, but yeah. After I do this, finish my portfolio, or not finish, but like have created like 3 or 4 projects of just copying and then have made my own project, then I want to code that project. And so that's iOS app development, and then go into marketing and sales. And once I do that, then I think I'll follow up with Android app development, because I'll start to make some money, and this will help me expand on this. And once I have enough money coming in, let's say like $1,000 a month, I don't have to worry about paying my student loans. I'm able to focus more on other things such as learning website. And actually, okay, so that's all good and fancy. I set up a Yes, these are all things I need to research actually. I should. I want to front load it, but I'm not making any money, so it's like. I can front load this part. These two, I'm not sure about. Yeah, I can front load these two, and at least I'm ahead of the curve, I guess. So when would I do this? Let's see. I think I wrote this down actually. Actually, I don't even remember where I put it, so we'll have to front load it and just organize everything there so I know that so that it doesn't fall out of compliance. Yeah, so we'll plan for this probably next week. I don't think I have anything immediate due. I already filed my initial report. And then the only other thing is just like every year, I think you need to submit annual report and taxes. So, yeah. Okay. So if every year I just need to, no, I should just do my due diligence and make sure that it's just it just is the initial report and taxes. If I find out there's more that I've been missing, that's not going to be good. So this, yeah, I want to do that quickly. Okay, no. Where should I take notes? Okay, I'm not showing that. Okay, so this is going to be my list of to-dos for company. Where did I write down? Each year. Remember that. Yeah. And then after that, so once I verify what is needed, if it's just the annual report and taxes, I won't be spending any money through the LLC. Or actually I will. But it'll just be through one bank, which I can track. So once I verify that's needed, until I make, let's say at least like 200 to none. Let's do a set amount. Wait until I make $1,000. $1,000 should be enough to book like an hour for an accountant and a lawyer. And yeah. And then let's just remove this. So this will actually be, again, at the end. So path and let's see, all of this. I'll just move to my notes for now. So overhead is the company. For my future, building embedded systems, yeah, probably. This one, I want to do sooner actually. Global problems to solve, industry problems to solve, strategy. So this one I want to do sooner. Just improve the way I make my YouTube videos. iOS app development, Firebase, I don't know about any of this. Okay, so up to here is clear. Prototyping. Yeah, this part I need to clarify. Where would I put this? Yeah, because these two are clear. Like, it's a clear path. The only reason that I need instruction is when things are just super unclear. But these so far proved to be enough instruction. So once I finish developing portfolio, think about if I want to take advanced course, Google's certification. Yeah, and then clarify what belongs in the finish 10 pages, practice, Yeah. And then to read 25 pages. And take practice exam. So that was here. And then this I don't want to do anymore. Practice exam. Read 50 pages every weekend. Take the I am. What's the word? I feel like I have early onset dementia sometimes. Take the LinkedIn assessment if I am seeing the or maybe not dementia. Alzheimer's is the one where you're mixing up your words, right? Yeah, so let's forget. So I was just thinking about iOS app development. When is a good time to start this? Because Git is not taking a lot of time. That's just basically on the weekends. And this week, worst case, next week, I could finish the practice exams. If not, I can just take the LinkedIn assessment once I finish the book, which is 2 months from now. So then, realistically, iOS app development, then that phase relies on prototyping and design and what I plan to do there. And what I plan to do there. Whether I'm going to take the advanced course, Google certification. Google certification is the one that would set me back for quite a bit. And then there's also other books and other resources that I want to learn, because it's not just Figma UX UI design. There's customer discovery, market research, competitive analysis, which we'll get to when actually, yeah, okay. Oh, I see. So this actually is C Innovators. So this completely relies on this project. Wait, so what is that? How do I handle that then here? Yeah. So clarify. Yeah, this is enough for this. For March to Startup, since I'm trying to separate this project from March to Startup, I don't want to start including details here when I'm just referring to that project. And so iOS app development is start tailing off on innovators. Yeah. Best not to. So for example, what I mean here is if I'm working on learning Figma or UX UI and I'm reading books and I'm taking courses and I'm working on projects, there's only like so much you can learn in a given day before you just your mind just becomes a wall. And I think if once I'm more in the rhythm and taking the courses, if after like 4 hours I realize, okay, I kind of reached my day's limit, then spend the second half of the day learning iOS app development. Yeah, and not even learning; it's just refreshing. I might have to to learn a little bit, but mostly refreshing. And I would need to start the project there. Let's say goal is to make, let's say like one, say $500 per month before making Android, before actually let's do 1,000. let's let's be let's be focused. And actually it's not even there, not even that, because we would want to, yeah, I'm just kind of, kind of went off track, but it's working out for me, so I'm just gonna follow it and see where it takes me. Marketing and sales. So this, I would, when's a good time to start it? Because ideally for iOS app development, I can make a dumb app and then start selling and marketing it. But then I don't really get to dive into the nitty gritty of iOS app development and make more complicated apps. So I want to be focused on one track at a time as much as I can be before adding on another track, another project. And if I make a more complicated app, I'm not going to make a dumb complicated app. It'd be useful, but then someone could try to steal it. Well, I guess I can just make something. Yeah, I can make a complicated app. People can try to steal it, but they're going to have to catch up to my UX UI. They're going to have to catch up to my iOS coding. And so by the time I'm learning and refining my marketing and sales, I'm already marketing and selling it, I guess. Yeah, so that's fine. Start once I finish a dumb app and a more complex app. And then I don't know what this is about. I need to see what's in that folder. And keep spelling spelling Android incorrectly. And then after that, I want to focus on, or not focus, well, I want to learn Android app development. But honestly, at this point, I could probably just hire someone to learn, or hire translate my because I can learn it, or I could just hire a freelancer to translate my apps. Because I'll be making $1,000 a month. I can easily pay someone a few $100s. No, actually, it would cost more. We'll see when we get to that phase. Once we reach 1,000, I'll think about it. And depending on Android app development, then web development. This actually might be something I had to push earlier though. Well, that wouldn't be under web development. That would be where, probably here, under overhead, make website for my. Actually, let's put it under marketing and sales. That makes more sense to. So that address this website. Okay, so I think that answered all of that. And here. Oh, now I think I know why web development was so important. But I mean, I could just use AWS, have that be part of the app development process. Okay. And this would be here. Oh, it's already 7. Let's see. I think I'll do this offline. Finish it offline. It's taking a little bit longer than I thought, and I just want to sit and kind of like space off when I'm working on this and thinking. So that'll be this one. And then I guess what also I have to do for this is once I update the timeline, then try to update the files because I have the timeline. Format is kind of clear. I need to do a new project, progress tracking. So here, update progress tracking. Actually, all of this should be in progress tracking. Yeah. Or so one thing also that I've been doing is sometimes when I'm on YouTube, I'll see like videos that are seem very useful that I'll need for like let's say VC fundraising or certain tips and tricks to use at certain stages in your company. And at this point, I'm still on like the ideation mock-up phase where I'm just looking at an idea. So that's just this product development innovation, and anything else I can't really use right now. I don't have a culture. I'm not necessarily leading a team. I don't even have that kind of money right now. So I've been sort of just collecting these links to reference in the future. And so I have a bunch of files, a bunch of different links, different things. And I think it can get kind of messy how I've been using it so far. So I need to clarify how I plan to use my inbox and collect those links to use that down the road. And then I also mentioned that I wanted to study like people, leaders, CEOs, entrepreneurs, and the first one being Jeff Bezos. So clarifying where that falls into my daily schedule. Am I spending like an hour a day on it, reading some of his books, interviews, and stuff like that? Or do I need to like get through Git first, get through, let's say like 60% of this before I add that on? Yeah. So I think those were the two biggest things that I'll need to fix. And then there's other smaller projects, I guess, that sub projects within this that I need to just make sure if they're updated or clarify how I'm going to track that, interact with it. But yeah, other than that, making good progress here. And I'll need to clarify what exactly does this project, what is the scope of this project? Because let me pause it so I can show it. So I think this shows how extensive or vast this project can be if I just don't let it have any bounds. No, not this. This was just a brainstorm with ChatGPT. But essentially, this shows like a timeline of the different things that are important when starting a startup. First is like UX UI design. You need to, once you have an idea, make it tangible, put it into people's hands to get customer discovery feedback. Then you also need to do market research, competitive analysis, lean methodology, customer discovery. So all these three are sort of like iterations of working an idea until it becomes something that you can work with. Yeah. Yep. So these three, I guess, seem like the pillar now that I think about it. And I guess one thing that I wanted to clarify with myself was just like skimming through an MBA coursework or courses or Udemy course, making sure that these were the pillars. But I don't want that to take too long. Then after that, developing it, working on your business model, monetization, so starting to sell it. If there's anything you need to consider, if you're working with human data, or just any other compliance issues, this is also selling it. Fundraising, if you need even more money to build it. Networking, problem validation. Well, actually, yeah, actually I need to go through this because it seems like it's not the timeline that I thought it was. So I'm not sure what this is. Feedback. And yeah, so anyways, the pillars again, UX UI design, market research, competitive analysis, lean methodology. And some, I guess, boot camps, accelerators, teach shortened down versions of this in even like 2 months. And 2 months is covering all of this. And so if I actually wanted to get into the details of all of this, it could take a year or more. See, there's all these, where was it? Where did I? There was all the books. All these books. And then all these resources that I want to go through. So I need to, I guess, set a scope for this. So I'll do that offline. If I even get to it today. Tomorrow I'll probably work on these two. Or I should be able to work on all these. Yeah. Alright. I'll see if I record tomorrow. See y'all later.